Hi everyone, welcome to our next Phase 5 phonics lesson. Today we're going to start straight away with our flashcards, recapping on our Phase 3 and some of our Phase 5 sounds that we've learned so far. So I'm going to show them on the screen, give you a second or two, and then I shall say the sound. Qu. Sh. Ch. Or A. E. I. O. Oi. Oo or Ow. R. Air. Ear. Or your, a, ow, I, e, oi, you or oo. Okay, so you might have seen slipped in there the sound that we are going to be focusing on today, a new one to us for Phase 5. And that is our U sound. But it also, these two letters also make a different sound as well. They can sometimes make the long oo sound. So U or oo. Okay, let's have a look how we write that then more clearly. So we need two letters. It's a digraph, needs two letters to make one sound. So we start with the U, the letter U, which you can hear if you're using this digraph to make the U sound. And we also need an E. So it makes, we'll look at some examples in a moment, but it makes, in some words, makes a U sound, but it can also make an oo sound. And we use those two letters to spell both of those sounds. Let's try again. So U and an E together in that digraph make the U or oo sound. Hopefully you've had a go at writing that. If you haven't, get a piece of paper, just practice those two letters together to make that digraph. Good job. Okay. You might be able to think of any words, any examples that are using those U or oo sounds. To give you a clue, they often come at the end of words. So in either case, whether we're making the oo or the U sound, those two letters would come at the end of a word. Okay. So have a think. We'll look at some now. So we're going to firstly look at some flashcards which have are using the U and the E to make the U sound, and then we'll look at the ones that make the long oo sound. Okay, make this screen bigger. So K, U, Q. That's a cue like it's your cue to go on stage, or a snooker cue. U, due, like your homework is due in on Monday. U, hue. New, venue. Value, value. Something's good price for what it is. It's good value. pursue, pursue, pursue. Different type of Q this time. U makes a long U sound. We've got two of them together, so it's also a tricky word. Q. We have to use that digraph twice. Statue, statue. Rescue, rescue. We can see that Q word at the end there, can't we? And then the last one, argue, argue. Okay, so we're looking at some words that are fairly long words, aren't they, using that U sound. I'm going to shuffle these ones up before we look at the digraph where it makes the long U sound. We'll try these again on the screen. So I'll hold them up, give you a second or two, and then I'll say the word. You have a go to see if you can read it before I say it. Statue. Q. Q, those two words that ended up next to each other. So that's a queue where we would stand in a line to queue up in the shop. Pursue. Rescue. Value. Venue. Hue. Due. Argue. Well done if you got all of those before I said them. Right, we're going to look at some different examples now where the U and the E make the OO sound instead. L-oo, clue. B-l-oo, blue, like the colour. G-l-oo, glue. T-r-oo, true. Got a name here, we can tell because of the capital letter. S-oo, Sue. And another one, capital letter. P-r-oo, Prue. Like if you've ever watching the Great British Bake Off. R-oo, rue. F-l-oo, flew. Is-oo, issue. I think they should be in the other pile. Is-you, issue. And I had another one here. Put in the wrong place. T-is-you, tissue. Tissue. Okay, so we'll stick with the other ones. I'll shuffle them up and show them on the screen. Don't forget we're making the OO sound now using the U and E digraph. Are we ready? True. Flew. Rue. Clue. Prue. Glue. Blue. Sue. Okay, I think the most popular ones using that OO sound with the U and the E are those two, glue and blue. They're the most popular ones. Okay, well done if you got those. Right, we're going to have a go at reading some. We're going to focus on the ones using the U sound for this next activity. So we're going to read through these words, and these ones we're going to use the U and the E to make the U sound, not the long OO sound. So have a go and see if you can read those words. So pause the video, Read them by visualizing those sound buttons or writing them out if you need to add the sound buttons, and then deciding if it's a real word or if it's a nonsense word. Okay, let's have a look together. L-S-U, lescue. What do you think? Yeah, nonsense word, isn't it? This one, V-E-N-U, venue. Yeah, we might go to a concert venue or a sports venue. L-A-T-U, plateau. What do you think to that one? No, that needs to go in the rubbish bin. What about this one? Or mew, or mew. No, I've not heard of that word either. And this one here, rescue, rescue. Yep, that's a real word, isn't it? And then this one, statue. Yep, can you stand as still as a statue? And then this one down here, D-E-N-U, denue. No, I think that's another one for the rubbish bin. And then the last one, argue, argue. Hopefully you don't argue with your mummy and daddies too much. That needs to go in the treasure chest. Now, as we can see from just the sound buttons left on the screen without the words with them, you can see that the dashes for those digraphs, these are other digraphs that have been used in the words, but those dashes at the end are all for the U digraph. So we can see that they all come at the end, which gives us a bit of a clue when we're wanting to use them in our writing, making those good phonetic choices of the letters that we're going to use to spell our words. Right, now we've got some sentences to have a go at. So let's look at this first one together, and then you can try another one before we have a go at writing one of the sentences. So let's sound this out together. Can. Ooh, what's going on with this? Ignore that a little bit. Then we've got ooh, the tricky word. You argue, with, you statue. Can you argue with a statue? Well, you could do, but you're probably not going to get much of an answer back, are you? Okay, we've got one more here to try. I think you can have a go at trying this yourself before we go through it together. So pause the video here, have a go with the sound buttons if you need to, and read that sentence. Okay, let's go through that together. Hopefully you got it. It is, it, true. So this sentence, you might have spotted those words at the end if you've already been able to read it, we're making the long oo sound with the U and the E. So these words were the U sound. This is the oo sound. Is it true that you, tricky word, can, get, blue glue. Is it true that you can get blue glue? What do you think? I don't know. Probably. I'm sure you can get it in any colour. So well done if you got that. We're going to go back to this one, and then we're going to have a go at reading it together once more before you have a turn at writing it. So the sentence is, can you argue with a statue? Can you argue with a statue? So we need to be careful to remember capital letter, also a question mark at the end. We need to be a little bit careful with this tricky word, don't we? Try to remember that from previous lessons. This is the tricky part. You might know that digraph as ow, but in this word, it makes an oo sound. You. Remember where to use the U sound that we've learned today, the U and the E. It comes at the end of the words. Can you argue with a statue? So let's read it one more time, thinking about how many words we need to remember. Can you argue with a statue? There's 6 words. Say them once with me one more time before we cover it over. Can you argue with a statue? Okay. Say it back to yourself once more before you then start writing it. So start one word at a time, keep reading it back as you go on to the next word. Off you go. Okay, there we go again. So check what you've written. Hopefully you've not cheated, paused the video and had a really good go at it. Don't worry if you don't get it all right. That's how we learn. So just check where you may have gone wrong, but give yourself a good big tick next to all the bits that you've got right, all of those words that you've got right. Can you argue with a statue? Good job. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this activity that you can try at home. So you can pause the video so that you've got these words left up on the screen. If you've got a dice, this is good fun to have a go at. So you can roll the dice. If you get a number between 1 and 3, so the numbers on the blue dice, you can then have a go at reading one of those words from the list. You can tick them off as you go. So the ones if you get 1 to 3, you'll be looking at words with the U sound. Okay, if you roll a 4 or 5, you can try to read any of these words. These are making the long oo sound using the U and the E. But as you can see, all of those words, I think they're all the same. Yes, they all follow the pattern that the U and the E come at the end of the word every single time. Sometimes it's making a long oo sound, sometimes it's making the U sound, but they're always at the end. So have a little bit of fun with that. If you don't have a dice at home, you could just ask somebody to randomly call out, give you a number between 1 and 5, and then you can work your way through that list, see how many you can get. Good luck for that activity. If you then want to practice some more, you can go to Phonics Play using the login, go to Picnic on Pluto, select the phase 5 in resources, and then you can, using this sound, practice reading lots and lots of words and deciding if they're real or nonsense words. So that'll be really good practice for you. Well done for today, really good work. Keep it up, and I'll see you for the next lesson.